Hey, what's good, everybody? Happy Monday already. Hope you guys are doing good today. Hope everything is well with you. Let's get rid of this here. Okay, we're good. We're dialed in, ready to go. Look, the market started the week off here with a strong gain, trying to recover some of what happened last week. And actually, I might be a little early to this, but it looks as though we've recovered about half of what the markets sold off last week. So here's the bottom line. The markets fall aggressively. Most people recognize that as a discount and said, hey, I want to keep contributing towards that, whether it's a short-term or long-term thing. People have just been excited to buy this market today, so we're a little excited as well. Here's the thing. If you're a long-term investor, then, or you just started your retirement investing, you see the markets fall, you've got plenty of time, right? You're going to contribute. You're going to add to this. This is a great thing for the long-term investor. For the short-term investor, if you bought the top, you're a little bit stressed out at the moment, but let's take a look. We've got the Dow on the screen. There we go, just popping up for you there. Looks good. So the Dow on the screen. Here's today's action, just this last little bit. I'll try to zoom in, actually. There we go. So today we've recovered. You can see almost what we've sort of sold off there. Not quite. We're a little early to making that comment, but still, the Dow gained 406 points today. Big move for the Dow. We take a look at the S&P. S&P is up 36, also recovering. The main focus is on that 200-day moving average. That's a big one for technical traders. That red line there, that's the 200-day moving average. If you're not familiar, basically all that means is that the market is trading above its average price for the last 200 days. So technical traders like to use that as sort of a metric for, is the market in a bullish mode or a bearish mode? We came very close to breaking through that, but the S&P managed to hang on. We go over to the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq was up 107 today, outpacing the rest of the markets. That's going to have a little bit to do with Apple, which we'll go over in a second. Again, erasing just over half of what we saw last week. Still some work to go, but not looking too bad. Today was a pretty much straight up day, very consistent. I don't have much to complain about there. The sort of excitement today, your best leading sectors is going to be metals and mining. These are your gold miners, silver miners, copper, coal, you name it. These guys did well today, adding about 3%. This is the metals and mining space that you're looking at. So adding about 3% there, just recovering off that drop. Now, this is different than the rest of the market. See this drop right over here over the last few weeks? That's sort of a normal pullback. Now, it may have been more than some people wanted, but that's normal. That's calm, collected, little fits and stops and starts all along the way there, but not in a waterfall type fashion, unlike the stock market, which did fall in a waterfall fashion. So a little recovery here, and that's just people saying, you know what? This looks like a good support area. This looks like an area I'd like to buy at a discount. And so you have the metals and mining doing well. Another space is going to be oil exploration, the oil companies, the price of oil, the oil drillers. We'll just say energy in general. Energy adding another 2.5% today. Same thing. Oil and these oil stocks have come off their highs rather aggressively. I'll shift over to the price of oil. There you go. You can see how it has pulled back as well. Maybe a little too far too fast. And so today you just have some people saying, hey, maybe that's a discount. They're starting to buy at those levels. Energy looking pretty good. What else? If I dig around here, the Nasdaq was your leading index today. We'll go through here. We'll look at transports. Why is that ringing? Sorry about that. We've got the transports there also bouncing today, adding a little bit. CSX, one of those standout stocks there if you're familiar with that sector. Where else can we go? Emerging markets, that was kind of a headline one today, also starting to recover. It's been moving in lockstep with our US markets, a little different there. And home builders also getting a little bit of a headline, holding on to their 200-day moving average. Again, just a popular spot that a lot of traders like to look at. Remember, we always say wherever the banks go, that's where the market goes. Well, today the banks were up just over 1%, and so were the markets. So remember that if you have investments, if you are focused on any type of short-term, long-term trading or investing, the stock market does not go in the direction that the banks do not go. So that was dumb. I didn't say that very clearly. Wherever the financial stocks move is where the markets go. I'm a little off today, can you tell? So general rule is about 30% of the stock market is made up of financials, 30% of the S&P 500 and so on. So in order for there to be a market rally, we need to have that chunk going with us, the financials as well as the semiconductors, and today that's what we had, so looking good there. Where else can we go? Consumer staple stocks, a lot of good stuff really. Retail kind of stood out today as a bit of a lagger. Where did they finish? Actually, they finished about flat. So your retail stocks really just kind of stayed asleep for today. I'll tell you what's a big one. Under Armour has earnings coming out here after the close. Let's see, did we get anything yet? Nothing from them just yet while I'm recording this. This is a big one for them. Under Armour has had, last year was their worst year ever since going public. They've got a lot of problems, and the CEO said, we're going to sort of pivot. That was his quote. We're going to pivot, and this strategy that they're now going to follow is going to help rebuild the brand. Today's a big deal, right? If we don't start to see that, you expect that this stock could take quite a hit. So the earnings are coming out any moment. We'll see. I'll check in before we wrap this up. But they've got a lot of sort of impressing to do on Wall Street. And I think today, the stock was up over 5%. I think that was a lot of short covering. If you're familiar with what that is, I think that was a lot of short covering going into the close. Maybe people assuming that this earnings would be good. So we'll see what happens there. Apple, one of the strong ones today. Apple has now recovered over half of last week's declines. Had a good strong day today, up about 4%. That was your leader in the Dow. Boeing came in a close second. Where did they finish? 3 1/3%. That's one of the better performers. Look at this sort of in comparison to the market. The price of Boeing has barely moved off the highs. Barely is, of course, relative, but it's barely moved off the highs, whereas most stocks have sort of fallen aggressively. So a lot of people still liking Boeing. Of course, that one's doing well there as well. And now just about half of the Dow has recovered half of last week's decline. So a little bit of bullishness going on there. Let's go into Amazon briefly here. Amazon was up today. They're going to be laying off some people in their Seattle headquarters as well as around the world at their different offices. Here's the thing. This may be our first hint into the next quarter's earnings, because Amazon is saying we're going to take away from these businesses that aren't growing, the businesses being Amazon Toys, their books, and their grocery divisions, and we're going to apply that energy, apply that money, apply those people, new people, to Alexa. They're going to apply it to their digital entertainment that they're working on and really trying to grow that. And of course, that ever popular, the AWS, their cloud system there, really good. That showed great growth in the last quarter. So that is that. So Amazon up a little bit higher too today. I don't really have anything else exciting. Gold was up a little bit today. We kind of saw that with the metals and mining. Crude oil was up a little bit, gave back a lot of its gains. Really just kind of a strong day in the markets, trying to recover some of last week's volatility. And that's about it. So I will share with you, if you are a client of ours, we're getting ready to start our Wine and Wealth series. We need about another week on that. So just a heads up, you'll be getting an email on that soon. Also, if you're interested, check out these 2 videos above. See some of the stuff that we do. If you have retirement accounts or long-term investments and you want someone to manage them for you while you keep your account in your name, that's the important thing. Well, we're happy to do that for you. Check us out at jazzwealth.com and leave us a comment. Hope to talk to you soon.